anything that I'm going to say is going to be from the point of view of being a school board member with Grayce Purcell initially. And then from then, it was a matter of being a friend. And while I was on the school board, of course, Grayce was a clerk. And Grayce first was a lady, and then she was a pro. And she was a very great person. She was the secretary to Mr. Powers from 1937 to 1941, as well as being the attendance officer, truant officer. And then from 41 to 67, she was a clerk or clerk treasurer. And Grayce did this job during the time when there were no computers, and she had to do it by knowing exactly what the records were. And in our business with her, she knew where every penny was. She knew the state law. She knew what should or shouldn't be done. And if you made the wrong move, she'd tell us. And she was the one we turned to if we wanted some help, because she knew exactly what the score was all the time. And I don't think in all the time that I was on that she ever made a mistake.
You also knew her on a personal level. You said she was over your house. You want to tell a little bit about that, how you knew her?
Well, she was friendly enough that when our 4 children graduated from high school, she, along with Miss Steele and Miss Murray, came to the graduation reception of all 4 children. And then after that, when each of them was married, all 3 were there for our oldest 2 sons' weddings. And then Miss Steele had died, and Miss Murray and Miss Purcell attended all the weddings. In fact, on one, all 3 of them were there. The first one's there to the wedding. And Grayce was always a great one to talk to, and I could do it from both point of view of school, business, and friendship.
I got the impression that you felt she did a lot above and beyond what she had to do. She went out of her way.
Yes, very definitely. She said that she had to walk a mile, she'd walk 2 miles to do the job. And it wasn't just doing the job, it was doing it right. So we always had a great respect for Grayce Purcell.
All right, do you have any mention of why you think we should be remembered? You nominated her.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what made you think of this and why?
Well, as soon as I heard about it, I thought that she should be a member of the Gallery of Success. And the first 2 times I did it, apparently I didn't take the right approach. The last time I changed the angle a little bit. And one thing I tried to stress was that Grayce was a feminist before feminist activities became the thing. She was a success as a businesswoman as well as being a success as a person. She was one of the charter members of the Amherst Business and Professional Women. And I feel she set a great track record for others to follow.
And you knew that she worked, you said, in our church also?
Yes, Valerie has mentioned that. She was a trustee, and she was also a deacon, as well as being a member of the Mary Martha class.
Did you want to mention something about, you knew about her basketball record? You want to mention?
Well, in high school, she was on the basketball team all 4 years, and she was captain the junior and senior year. I don't know how many points she scored, but I think to be captain, you had to be pretty outstanding to be accepted by your teammates.
Okay. You mentioned before how much dedication she had. And did you want to say anything about that, how you felt her dedication was? You mentioned, well, I know in the past you mentioned the word dedication.
Well, I think that there wasn't any question that she took her work seriously and her life seriously, and proceeded along that line to always fulfill whatever was required of her.
Did Grayce ever have any boyfriends or companions?
You'd have to go back to earlier days to find out about that. I have no idea whether that was true or not.
Okay, thought I'd ask.
But she was a friend of everyone as a person.
I know you talk a lot about her work with Mr. Powers, how she worked and how hard. Did you want to mention anything about some of the jobs she did for him? How much she was there for him that a lot of people didn't know about. How much work she did.
Well, I guess I can't go into that part of her life because I came along later. But I think, as I said, she was secretary for 4 years, and then after that she became clerk, and clerk was independent from the superintendent as such. In other words, she reported as clerk to the board, not to the superintendent. And she did serve during the times of 5 different superintendents. Mr. Powers was the first one and the one who was there the longest. And the others then went from anywhere from 1 year to about 8 years.
Okay, let's see if that about wraps that up.
What'd you have with that?
Changes. Pictures and
Okay.
instead of just all popping as much pictures as we can.
Now if I don't forget all those things that I mentioned already.